Good morning. It is Thursday, May 14th. This is the beginning of our SAT review. And today we're going to start with something that you've already done in Algebra 2, but we're going to go through it again now. I can solve multiple choice problems with the variables using a strategy. And we're going to both do this with and without a calculator. So we've done it with a calculator in class. We haven't done it without a calculator because on the SAT, there is a calculator section and there is a non-calculator section. So this strategy can be used for both. It's easier with the calculator, but we still can do it without a calculator. So if I have variables in the problem and variables in the answers, look at the notes here. We're going to store values for x and y from using the calculator. We'll start with the calculator version. So I usually choose 10 and 15. It doesn't have to be 10 and 15. It can be whatever numbers you want. You want to stay away from 0. You want to stay away from 1. So I'm just waiting for this to load up here. Here it is. So I'm going to do 10. Store. The store button is right here above the on button as X. And then I'm going to do 15. Again, the store button is here above the on button as Y. To access Y, I'm going to hit alpha 1. Now that I do that, I'm going to type in the original problem. I'm going to type in each answer, and the answer is whichever answer matches up to the original. So I'm going to type in the original problem. To type in fractions, alpha y equals, enter, 6x cubed. Let me use my finger, I'll be faster. Plus, oh my pen, what am I talking about? Plus 17x squared plus 10x plus 2 over 2x plus 3. And I get that. And you're going to get random numbers, and that's okay. So my answer must equal out to 7802 over 23. So now I'm going to go through each choice. 3x squared plus 4x minus 1 plus alpha y equals enter 5 over 2x plus 3. I got 7802 over 23. So what might be helpful is for you to write what you're getting. 7802 over 23 for the first one. 7802 over 23 for the second one. So that one is equivalent. In general, we want to go through all 4 choices because it's possible that more than one of them will give us the same value. In a situation like that, it'll kind of be like, which one is simplified, which one is factored completely, because it's possible, again, that more than one answer will be equivalent. So if more than one is equivalent, you have to choose the one that, again, is either factored completely or simplified, whatever the question is talking about. 15,599 over 23, 15,599 over 23, 6x squared minus x plus 13 minus alpha y equals enter 37 over 2x plus 3, 13,832, 13,832 over 23, and finally 3x squared, whoops, 3x squared plus 13x plus alpha y equals enter 49 over 2 plus alpha y equals enter 151 over 2x plus 3. 21,209 over 46. Which one is equivalent? Choice 1. Now, I went through all 4 choices now, just so you can see this. Something important to understand about the SAT compared to the Regents. Time is a factor. So, because it doesn't say anything about factored completely, it doesn't say anything about reduced, simplified. Once I got my choice 1, I'm done. I should move on. I should circle it and move on, because it doesn't say anything about factoring completely or simplifying or whatever. Time is definitely a factor when it comes to the SAT. It's not a factor when it comes to the Regents. So I kind of teach things a little bit differently when it comes to SAT, because, you know, time is a big factor when it comes to SAT. So, you know, you have to find a middle ground between speed and, you know, not making mistakes. If you see that this one, you know, there's no factored completely or whatever, once you get something that's equivalent, you're done. At the same time, if you go through all 4 choices, you're less likely to make a mistake. You're going to have to kind of find a balance and see what works for you. But, you know, it's kind of on you to decide what's going to work best. But time definitely is a factor. If this is me and I'm prepping someone for the SAT, because it doesn't say factored completely or simplified, I see the same answer, I'm circling it, I'm moving on to the next question. Because the extra 3 minutes or 2 or 3 minutes that it took me to do the rest of them is time that I'm going to lose at the end of the section where I'm going to probably need it. Now, how would I do this one without a calculator? It's the same concept. I'm going to substitute a value in for x. Now, I'm going to use something a little bit smaller than 10. I'm going to use 2, and I'm going to use 4 if I have a second value. And I'm basically going to plug in 2 into the original problem. 6 times 2 cubed plus 17 times 2 squared plus 10 times 2 plus 2 over 2 times 2 plus 3. This is not simple. This is, I mean, I want to say not simple. Depending on how strong you are with arithmetic, if you're not strong with arithmetic, this is going to be kind of nasty. I evaluated. Again, I can't use a calculator if it's a non-calculator section. 2 cubed is 8. I'm looking here right now. 2 cubed is 8. 8 times 6 is 48. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 17 is 68. 10 times 2 is 20, plus 2, over 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3. 48 and 68 is 116. 20 and 2 is 22. 4 plus 3 is 7. 116 plus 22 is 138 over 7. And I'll just leave it as that. So my original is 138 over 7. Now I'm going to substitute that same value that I just chose 2 into each answer. I'll go into choice 1. 3 times 2 squared plus 4 times 2 minus 1 plus 5 over 2 times 2 plus 3. 2 squared is 4 times 3 is 12 plus 8 minus 1 plus 5 over 2 times 2 is 4 plus 3 is 7. That's 19 plus 5 over 7. Now, this is an improper fraction. This is a mixed fraction, so you need to convert one of them. If I want to, let's do this one. So 138 over 7. If I do long division, 1, 7, 68, 9, 63, 5. I get 19 with a remainder of 5. They're the same. That's your answer. Some multiple choice questions are going to be a little bit more nasty. This one's kind of nasty for this strategy, doing it by hand. Some of them won't be as nasty. The strategy will always work. And again, this is a strategy. a lot of times it's easier and faster if you know how to do the question. But if you don't know how to do the question, this particular one happens to be a long division question if I'm doing it by hand, the strategies come in handy quite a bit. So let's try another example. We'll do both calculator and non-calculator. Let's do the factoring one. Let's do number 4. So if I'm using the calculator, I'm typing, I already stored my value, so I don't have to do it again. I'm typing in the original problem, 6x minus x cubed minus x squared negative 1040. Now I'm going through each choice. Choice 1, x plus 3, x minus 2. I get positive 1040. X minus 3, x plus 2. I get 840. Now choice 3 and choice 2 are the same, except one is a negative, so I'm going to copy and paste that to save time. And then if I want to put a negative in front, I put second insert, which is above delete, negative, because speed is an issue, negative 840. And then the same thing, the bottom one is the same as choice 1. So I could also just put the negative first. That might make more sense. And I get negative 1040. Choice 4 is your answer. Now if I'm doing this without the calculator, again, instead of using 10, I like to use 2. It's just easier to work with. 12 minus 8 minus 4 is 0. So this is one where, here, let me erase this too. This is one where it's not going to work out perfectly with 2. Why are these weird things coming up? Oh no. You know what? Let me just start again. Alright, I was having some technical difficulties. We should be okay now. So let me just do this again. So 6 times 2 minus 2 cubed minus 2 squared is 12 minus 8 minus 4, which is 0. So whichever one of these is 0 will be the answer. Keep in mind, it says factor completely, so I might need to go through all of them. So I'm doing 2 plus 3, 2 minus 2. This is choice 1. That's 2 times 5 times 0, which is 0. So choice 1 looks good. Choice 2, 2 times 2 minus 3. And listen, a lot of you will be able to do this mentally. You can just, look at it and sub in your head and quickly do it mentally. And again, time is a factor, so I would suggest doing that if you can handle that. I get negative 8. That one's bad. Choice 3, negative 2, 2 minus 3, 2 plus 2 is negative 2 times negative 1 times positive 4, which is 8. And choice 4, negative 2, 2 plus 3, 2 minus 2 is negative 2 times 5 times 0, which is 0. So notice how both choice 1 and 4 work. What that means is I need to now choose a different value, because choosing 2 made both of them 0. So I know it's a little bit of a pain. We're going to have to now choose a different value, but I already know that it can't be 2 and 3. So let's do 4. So the original problem, 6 times 4 minus 4 cubed minus 4 squared. 24 minus 64 minus 16, that is negative 56. So now I'm just going to go through choice 1 and choice 4 and see which one is negative 56. So choice 1, again I'm plugging in 4 now. I get 4 times 7 times 2, which is 56. 2 and 3 were already eliminated. Negative 4. 4 plus 3. 4 minus 2 is negative 4 times 7 times 2, which is negative 56. Negative 56. Negative 56. That's your answer. So hopefully you get the gist of this. It's definitely much easier with the calculator. You're just typing it into the calculator, the original problem, typing each answer, seeing what matches up. For non-calculator, you're substituting a value in by hand into the original and into each answer. 2 is generally the easiest. If it's a circumstance where you get 2 answers that work for a certain variable, then you might need to pick a different value. You know, again, these are strategies. Sometimes they're better. Sometimes it's better to just do it by hand. But if you don't know how to do it by hand, the whole point of this is that you can still get it right using the strategy. So that's all I'm going to do for you. The rest are here for you to practice. And, you know, it'll work for any problem where there's variables in the problems and variables in the answers.